Hello, it's Emma Mills here and Ralphington, and welcome to, let's hope this works, episode 53 of MiTV. Now please forgive me for ruining Tim's book already, however it has been sat on my desk for over a month and I haven't touched it yet, nor have I touched any of these books. And it brings me on nicely to the topic of today's episode, which is about procrastination. So at the end of last week, in the snow, I drove to Lillis Hall, which is just in Telford, and I was lucky enough to be in an NLP course, which one of my friends has introduced me to. And the trainer, Phil, on Friday, Phil Quirk, was talking about actually procrastination. And he said that procrastination is ultimately, when you boil it down, an addiction to urgency and being in the zone of urgency. And a lot of people that actually... Now, I think there are two camps, people who thrive off procrastination and people who actually do really badly and suffer by procrastination. But there are, of course, people who thrive off it, who like pull it out of the bag in the last hour, who love to kind of talk about how they've rescued something from the jaws of defeat because it was left to the last minute, but they managed to save it when actually probably that didn't need to happen in the first place. But also I'm very aware that there are people, and I'm sure lots of you who are watching this, who procrastinate in many different forms, whether it's small, whether you just spend a bit too much time on social media, whether you spend a bit too much time just responding to your emails because it makes you feel good and it makes you feel like you're doing stuff and that you're busy. There are varying forms of it, but ultimately it serves no one and it gets you nowhere and it doesn't make the most of your time. Now, I obviously have MiTV and I am constantly looking for ways to improve and make the very most of my time and leverage it. I definitely suffer from procrastination in varying forms. There are times when there are tasks that I'm not that keen on doing and I will definitely put off. There are times when I feel overwhelmed, just like most people will, and those tasks, the tasks that are the most important, often fall to the bottom when it should be the other way around. So today's episode is about how do we solve that procrastination and just some things to think about each day. Number one, distraction. Distraction is ultimately the worst thing for procrastination. Ralph, would you like to go down? Distraction is ultimately the worst thing for procrastination. So what I would really recommend you do is block time down into chunks, whether it's just 30 minutes to begin with, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, block time down and have no distractions whatsoever. Put your phone on airplane mode, close the door, don't let anybody distract you, close your laptop, or at least close down methods of communication such as email. And just before you start this chunk, just make a list of the top 3 tasks that you want to get done. Don't make the whole list. The whole list will never get done. And ultimately, whenever you do make a list, normally you can chop down the bottom 75% and it's only the top 25 that are super important. And if you don't do the 75 for another week, you might get the odd reminder or an email from somebody, but they're not that important. You will know the things that you're really putting off, the things that move you forward. Make that list and just concentrate on the very top part. So no distraction, block your time out. Visualize, don't be put off by the word visualize, but just think about how you're going to feel when the tasks are done. So when you have wrote that new sales letter, when you have tried and implemented Facebook ads, when you have got somebody to now manage your diary so you can just go and sell your service or make new connections or bring new leads in or go and do what you're good at, which is being on the tools. Just think about how you're going to feel when you have actually ticked this task off and got it done, because the feeling of that is going to be way better than the kind of unease or the urgency or the head trash that you get from tasks that are overdue. So no distractions. Block your time, think about how you're going to feel when you get those tasks off. And ultimately, don't be too hard on yourself. Just how do you eat an elephant in very small little chunks? Just break it all down and reward yourself when each time you tick something off. Don't reward yourself by disappearing for the whole day, but little things, whether it's going to make a drink or watching a YouTube video or whatever it might be, but little rewards after every single task you get done, because ultimately procrastination serves no one. It wastes your time and it kind of robs you from doing the best that you can in personal and business life. So note to myself, stop ordering so many Amazon books. Just wait and read the ones that I've got already that are a massive pile. There's more than these sat on my desk. So just have a think about, I hope this little tip does get your head out of the dirt and into the clouds, out of the dirt of procrastination, because it is a nasty word and it's no good for anyone. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next week for episode 54. See you then. Bye-bye.